going to record on the cloud. Dude, I don't know. What are your thoughts, man? Just what's your visceral reaction?
Todd, I mean, a great show. Just a great show. Gave us a lot of good stuff. I mean, can't be perfect. Nothing's perfect. I think Cody looked a little on the rusty side. And fans clearly called out a missed spot there too. I think I don't know if you got that or not, or if that was just me, but that was definitely a little the roughest spot I think of the night. But overall, I think, wow, what a big show! What a hit! How happy can you be for Tony and these guys for putting on the show? And holy shit, Danielson, first thing right out the gate.
See,
you gotta love it.
I did not expect them to come right out of the gate and give us Danielson Omega, but I'm
why not?
But you know what?
For it.
But what they understand is, and the note that I wrote down for that whole match was that this was just great storytelling.
Excellent.
And it was, I mean, they lead off in Daniels. I mean, it's just like, whoa. And the crowd was just
hot crowd. I mean, he looks amazing. I mean, looks like $1 million. He comes out and he said he wanted to kick people in the face, right? I mean, that was like, I want to come back. I want to kick heads in. And they kicked each other's heads.
I mean, that was the thing.
They kicked each other's heads in.
I mean, he did not look like a guy who had been. It's one of those things where you could tell he had been rested, but he did not look rusty. He did not display the rust of somebody who's been off for basically 6 months.
Right. No, he looked like a guy very hungry to go out there and kick ass and have a great match. And they delivered 100%.
Yeah.
I kind of like, it felt like the 20-minute mark kind of hit like a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of maybe if the announce team kind of clues us in that, hey, we're coming up on 60 seconds remaining in this match. Because give us a little chance to feel a little more urgent. I think it would have made the moment a little hotter. But
I think you're right.
Incredible show.
Yeah, because I started looking at the time on, because I'm like, okay, it's a 30-minute match. And they jumped right into action. So after the intros, and I'm like, we've got to be coming up on the 30 minutes. So I think that Tony and JR missed an opportunity to kind of be like, hey, but you know what? I mean, it's, live television. And
it's live television, and maybe, he's just kind of, I mean, that's got to be the finish you designed, right?
Yeah. But, I thought, I don't know, one of my thoughts that I wrote down was that Kenny Omega is such a great champion. And one of the things that I took away from this match is it doesn't matter to Omega if it's Jungle Boy or Bryan Danielson, knowing that Jungle Boy needs to be put over and that Danielson has been over. Danielson's like one of the biggest names in wrestling, but for Kenny Omega, it doesn't matter. He's going to give you the same opportunity to look badass no matter who you are. I mean, to me, I'm like, that is a champion. That is a guy. I mean, I don't, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I would imagine that to a person in that locker room, they're probably like, that guy, he's a guy. He will put the marks on his boots, man, to make you look good.
Oh God, yeah, for sure. I thought that man, when they after the whole dragon suplex on the ramp,
Yeah, that was
that
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and you just felt them bring it. They just was like, all right, let's hit the accelerator, and
Yeah.
and they're it was just so clear that they both were just. I mean, they're just like they had it on, and it was let's give the fans the show, and they were doing it big
And
time.
to me, that I made a note about that Snapdragon on the ramp, and I wrote, now that is great storytelling. And there was a part of me that's like, will Tony or JR or Excalibur, will they bring up Danielson's neck history?
Yeah.
But because at the same time, they didn't really need to. I think in that moment, I'm like, oh, what a moment, and how will he bounce back? Like, it's like, and it's like it's like in that moment, I felt like they were telling the story of Brian Danielson, his journey, the injury, his recovery, his return, and now he's here. He's 100% back at the top of his game, and I'm like, that is amazing storytelling in the ring. And I was just like, oh, I mean, but yeah, I
I
didn't.
mean, hasn't been on TV or anything. Wrestle on TV, done anything, and he just got in the ring with,
Yeah,
Pro Wrestling Illustrated #1 wrestler in the world, and
is,
went 20 minutes. Wait, gave us a 20-minute epic, pay-per-view quality match.
is there is there a
First match back.
yeah, is there a more skilled, I mean, you just said is there, I mean, there's not a more skilled champion out there than Kenny. I mean,
I
he is.
no, no. I mean, he's just. I mean, he's just. There's nobody else out there.
And
That,
he's got
that
an arsenal. He's got so many different things, so many things to beat you with. I mean, he's a guy he can, however the style that you want it, he can
oh,
he can bring it to you.
that seemed like very very stiff. Some pretty stiff work. I mean,
Yeah.
no joke. Those
Yeah.
kicks and chops had a lot of snap
Yeah.
from both of
Danielson's
them.
chest. Oh my gosh. I'm like,
I think
what?
I think Kenny kind of was like, welcome to the elite, man. I mean, and said, hey, let's do
Yeah.
this thing. I mean, and that's giving the fans, like I said, giving the fans everything and giving
Yeah.
them laying it all out there and just saying, all right, this is all we got. And they
Yeah.
gave it to them. I felt like we
Yeah.
saw an awful lot. We saw Danielson's good technical work, and and Kenny's just ability to just turn on the accelerator
Mm.
and take matches to just crank them up in notches just to get it up to the fever pitch,
Yeah.
for the end. And it's incredible to watch him work. It's awesome to be a
Yeah.
fan of. I mean, I think, talked about with All Out, it kind of almost feels like there's a new dawn of wrestling, and Kenny's a champ in the time and at the time
Yeah.
of this. So that's like I said, it's pretty magical time to be a wrestling fan right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm the king of, I'm a cliche. I'm the cliche king. I do feel like the wrestling fans triumph tonight. Like, it was just, I mean,
Yes,
and what I love is that they
loaded
didn't.
loaded card. I mean, just a loaded card. I mean,
And
it's free on
the
TV for fans. What a night,
and
TK.
the brilliance of both of those guys to not step on the moment.
Right.
And I don't know if they talked about it before or not, but it was clear they understood, like, hold on, we need to let the fans have this moment. It was like,
Oh yes.
it
They
was
let
amazing.
they'd never rushed anything. I didn't feel like
Mhm.
anything was ever rushed. But
Yeah.
match clicked up, at the intervals it needed to be clicked up at, and and they, like I said, like they worked every spot for the fans. They worked it, they gave the fans time to, enjoy everything.
Yeah.
Cattle mutilation, come on.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done that move on TV, maybe ever,
Right.
unless you've watched a Ring of Honor, you know,
Yeah.
got some old Ring of Honor on YouTube or whatever. Most people have
Yeah.
never even gotten to see that move.
I had not seen that move
And it's like,
before.
all right, he does it in the first match. I kind of was expecting it, but I was like, all right, that was the American Dragon. That was the American Dragon finisher. So
mean,
I was stoked to see it.
so that was kind of, you felt like that was kind of like a deep cut for kind of old
I
school.
think that was a huge deep cut for your big, your big old school, especially, the guys who were, people were so jazzed for him to come from Ring of Honor to WWE and
Mhm.
followed him through WWE. That had to be deep cut for all of us. Just like we were all praying for Final Countdown too, but
Yeah.
Light of the Valkyries will take it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you
Now,
think
how'd
of
you like
the
what do you think of the finisher? And the super kick from the super
I
click. The
so
super kick from the super click.
I dug that. I'm gonna tell you, I dug that. You know what I don't dig? I mean, I just feel like, and now I feel like I'm coming over to your camp on Christian Cage. I just feel like yeah, I mean,
The hatred
I
for Christian.
mean, let the dark side.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna start
Don't
calling you
let that
Palpatine.
that shiny Hall of Fame ring on his hand tell you a different story.
I just think that when I think of the elite, I don't think, when I think of those guys, and then I look across the ring and it's Jungle Boy, who I think is an up and comer, Luchasaurus, who I like, and I do like
He's
Cage.
fantastic for what he is. He's give me the big monster guy Kane in
Yeah.
a little bits. I like him. Don't give me too
But
much.
I felt
But little
like
bits.
a little bits, but I just feel like Danielson deserves. I just feel like the elite are on a different level than those three guys, and I'm like, I just didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I feel like, man, don't cheapen him.
I mean, I kind of thought that would have been an epic moment for, Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
You know, or, I'm trying to think of another baby face that we're
Yeah.
trying to get, going a little bit,
Yeah.
higher up the pole. Just,
Yeah.
just somebody different besides that trio,
Yeah.
which I feel like is super tired and boring already.
Yeah.
But that's,
I'm bored with them, and I hope that Friday is kind of the end of whatever
I think
that is.
honestly, I'm hoping, Adam Cole pens Christian, and after the match, we just get a nice little, Christian shakes hands with the Jurassic Express and says, "All right, guys, it's
There you
been
go.
fun.
Yeah.
See ya. Time
See
to
ya.
do sound."
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, that was the only thing. I love the super kick by the super click. I just didn't love the response. I'm like, there's levels to it, and I feel like, I don't know. I was underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. it's kind of like, where does this take us? Are we
Yeah.
looking for more another Christian? And I'm sorry, not another Christian, but another Danielson Omega? Are we going to
Mm,
continue this? Is this a program to continue or not? Is
yeah.
he in the title picture now? Clearly he almost had him in the LaBelle or gas lock, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
As the 20 minutes expired,
Hmm.
but there's also, a bunch of other guys at the top of the contenders list who are unbeaten,
Yeah.
the singles guys who supposedly
Hmm.
deserve title shots, right? I kind
Yep.
of thought Orange Cassidy may be making the save,
Hmm.
considering
Yeah.
he's the number one contender that they haven't brought up according to their ranking system.
Yeah. So yeah,
They haven't brought up
that's
that
an
Orange
issue.
Cassidy's the number one contender.
Yeah, and
They
I feel
mentioned
like
it
that
on TV or
they
not.
mentioned, yeah, I'm like, and I feel like they're trying to give Orange Cassidy a little bit more and try to, want him to show a little bit more of his personality. Like when the Baker and Statlander match, like he was kind of like
That was
really
fantastic.
animated. Yeah, I love
Fantastic.
seeing that. I'm
Great
like,
stuff.
okay, now how do we develop that? Like, so there's another side to Orange
Well,
Cassidy. So
I,
how do we
I
tap into
I
that?
think how you develop that is you give them the hair match with Matt Hardy, and
Yes.
you'll watch him go buck wild shaving Matt Hardy's head.
Yeah.
Clearly that's what you um and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things when he takes off those sunglasses and gives us the over the top
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call that, him breaking, if you
Hmm.
want to call it breaking kayfabe or not.
Yeah.
But when he gives us that, I think it needs to be only ever really, really, really important special moments. And
Yeah.
that's, he's gotta be very, very, very guarded with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I'm interested to see where they take that.
I'm curious.
So from there we
Punk
moved on
punk
to
promo,
yeah. What are
punk's
your thoughts
promo.
on that?
Clearly he comes out, massive pop, but then it's like it kind of like starts off with a dud. I mean,
Yeah, I think they missed that, didn't they? They kind of like
but
he's kind of like
it's kind of almost like as soon as he realizes it's a dud, he just turned it up to 11 and said, "Fuck
yeah,
it, I'm gonna cut a fucking badass heel promo, even though I'm not a heel right now."
yeah.
And he did it. He did it.
Yeah. I I appreciated that so much. He came out with something that he thought would, and I was a part. I'm like, wait, do they not hear what he's saying? Do they not understand what he's saying? I felt like, what fans, like, did you guys just see that? I'm like, but I think there was something lost in translation, but you're right. He pivoted on a dime
Right.
and he's like, some of
I mean,
you are
that's
wanting to see the angry Punk and,
well,
you
yeah.
know,
It's New York. All right, come on. It's New York. New York loves the heels. It's a heel
yeah,
loving town. And they want to see him. They want to see CM badass,
mm, yeah,
badass, rip your guts out. And what do you know? He turns it on a dime, and he does it.
mhm, yeah,
Now it's of course you know, getting to see the fruits of, will he have a badass match on for Rampage? Well, I'm kind of super curious about how they recorded this.
mm,
Um, Clearly, the Punk Hobbs match had not happened yet, so I think there's been a
right,
little theorizing that maybe they were going to record an hour before
mm,
Dynamite, an hour after. Who knows? Um, but clearly, they hadn't wrestled yet.
yeah,
But I'm very curious. I mean, plus, I like seeing Ricky Starks on TV. Hopefully, that's going to be more a thing, and I'm hoping for a Punk
yeah.
Starks
What are your
feud.
thoughts on? I'm starting to. I don't want to say I'm tired of them, um, but I don't think they need to continue to try to recreate a CM Punk moment for every
No,
audience.
you don't need to do it.
I don't want to keep seeing that. I
They're
think,
clearly, I mean, everybody's going to see him. The same
yeah,
people were going to watch him wrestle the match
yeah,
an hour and a half later,
yeah.
Is
I
that
mean,
necessary?
I liked your idea from earlier today that could have been an opportunity for Punk to come to Danielson's defense.
I mean, I haven't seen them on TV together.
Yeah,
Really
and
long
kind
time.
of, and you kind of, Danielson can kind of go in his way. You go to commercial. Punk does his promo.
I mean,
It
see,
doesn't.
I gotta
Yeah.
admit this. If you saw those two guys in the ring together, I'd think Samoa Joe would be right around the corner.
Oh,
You never know. And you're like, what year is it? Is this 2005 or what?
Yeah, but I love the fact that Punk was able to salvage that promo.
Big time. I mean,
He's a pro.
That's who he is.
He's a pro. Yeah, I would be curious.
Speaking of coming out to some heat, so
yeah,
I mean MJF.
Oh wow.
I mean MJF coming out. Is he not is he not just the hottest heat getting heel?
Oh my gosh,
going on the planet right now.
It's so funny. I mean, that's what I wrote in my notes. Is he the biggest heel in wrestling right now?
I mean, he is just so good. And those slaps.
Oh yeah,
those slaps at the beginning of that really kind of got that match going. Were so good. I mean, I can only imagine them being backstage and being like, "All right, dude, I'm just saying, better lay the fuck into these slaps." And then
I mean, I got to tell you, I loved. I mean, obviously MJF, just he's the man, and I thought Pillman comported himself great in the ring.
That was
tonight.
Great work. I thought it was great work. It was a nice quick match. It didn't need to be long. It was a nice quick match. It got in some good spots pretty fast. And it didn't, and it kind of course, one of those looks like Pillman's got it won, but one, only one tiny little mistake.
Yeah.
And it, it also makes the salt of the earth look lethal. Which I don't know if it's ever gonna look badass, but it's his move and he uses it. But
I think
I thought it was a good finish.
Yeah, I would like for Tony and the crew there to figure out what they're gonna do with Pillman, because I feel like he's the Varsity Blondes, and in the last couple of shows he was kind of like, I'm the son of I'm Brian Pillman Jr., and they kind of changed it. I'm like, and then they came out with oh gosh, what's her name? Julia Hart. Which I would I'd come out to the ring with her as well. Yeah. But I would like for them to figure out what they're going to do with Pillman. But I felt he comported himself well tonight. He's a good mid-card. I think he's a solid mid-card performer.
Definitely. Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
I'm still a little parched here. I apologize. No, I think he's a solid worker. I think we all need to remember that he has not been wrestling forever. That he is still relatively novice, I think. And but his aptitude and his ring awareness are clearly very, very, very high. And I like watching the guy wrestle. I think he's fun. He's fun to watch. And it's always one of those things. We're gonna live up to a legend legacy.
Right.
Probably not.
No.
But he seems to be clearly, he moves great. I'm curious to see maybe if he gets a singles push. The tag team division, like we discussed.
What I don't
is the tag team. It's not I mean, being in the tag team title hunt is huge.
Yeah.
In AEW, clearly.
Oh yeah. But I don't, and what I hope, I don't want to see more MGF Pillman.
No,
I don't expect
I
to
mean,
see
no,
any
no,
more
no.
of that.
That feud's
That's
gotta
a
be over.
Yeah. I mean, he got him the tap. I'm like, this is the perfect way to end that match.
Oh no, you pivot to the next thing for MJF, and
Yeah.
you know, and I think this now you can Pillman can
Yeah.
show us how he picks himself up from the bootstraps even more. Not only did he have a terrible childhood, he's
Yeah.
gonna come back better than ever.
Yeah.
From,
He's
from,
that
from this
total
defeat.
rust belt, yeah, he's kind of got solid the earth guy.
But
Who's
he got salt of the earth.
who should be next for MJF? Like
that's
the hardest one for
thinking
read
about
for me.
that. It's like AEW's kind of is heel loaded.
Yeah.
The way the roster looks right now. I'm curious to see if they're going to try to boost any mids up or tour. I feel like MJF's maybe. Who knows if he's like ready to start looking to get into a title hunt or not? But I don't think with Miro and Omega,
No,
I don't think he's got any gold near him in the future.
Could you see him like going
almost
after
seeing like
another
him in
legend?
the war.
Like, who were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the legend killing thing. I mean, I kind of think you maybe use some sort of gimmick to start him and Wardlow off and get him Wardlow.
Yeah.
See if Wardlow can actually do anything.
Yeah.
Besides look tough and suplex and kind of he's something. He's one of those guys. Wow, what a specimen! Can you wrestle and are you charismatic? Well,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I do wonder if the company will use MJF to figure out who can be. He's a great heel. Who can be a face? Like, are there like you said, are there some mids who can be a face? And let's just put them in the ring with MJF. See how they do.
Of course,
if they can hang, can they go back and forth with him? Can they, kind of move a crowd?
I'd love to see maybe Jungle Boy and him go after it and see what's going on there.
Yeah. Oh,
and I think that might be a good one.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's, he can go clearly anywhere with sticking into Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in all sorts of crazy ways. And I'm sure they could actually probably have a good match. And who knows, maybe Wardlow and Luchasaurus could maybe show us something. Looking impressive.
It makes no sense from a storytelling perspective. But the guy that I would love to see MJF go after is Adam Cole. I would love to see what, if they wanted to turn Cole into a face. I feel like MJF could do it.
I think it would be way down the road. Clearly, he's gonna ride.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna ride dirty for a while with with the Young Bucks. I mean, of course, the dream is more Bullet Club guys or whatever.
Yeah, I think that both as their stars, as their status rises, but I would love to, when I think of some of these younger guys, like I would love to see those two. The promos with those two guys would just be amazing.
Sick. I mean,
yeah.
And I think, they both work really, really, really. I think MJF is underrated at this point. Worker in the ring. But Adam Cole, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what a talent.
Oh man, he's good. He's got it all. And his girlfriend's not bad either. Um, dude, what were your thoughts? I mean,
He-Man.
you mentioned Cody earlier. Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes. Do we need to see any more of this?
I really don't want to. I did. I love I love Malachi's intro. I gotta admit,
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would kind of made me wonder what the intros were, how things were looking live. I mean,
Mhm.
it looked cool. The way they were shot, it looked cool on TV.
Yeah.
But I was curious as to how exactly it looked live. If it didn't look a little disconnected,
Yeah.
how the stage and all that was working, but the crowd seemed to love everything. So they had a
Yeah.
clear view of everything. But I liked, and then Cody gets a big intro
Yeah.
coming up through the stage.
Yeah. I
All the
mean,
stuff. But
they gave him all the pomp and circumstance. His wife is back. I didn't get the whole Arn Anderson.
and the thing is, I don't think the fans were all about it. I think the fans were pretty happy to see Brandy, but
Yeah.
I don't think they were super stoked to see him.
Yeah, Arn coming out like a slim down Andy Reid with his his Malachi Black, play sheet, that was a little sloppy.
Got it right here.
Yeah.
The playbook we're gonna use to beat him,
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah,
He's gonna. Don't worry. We're gonna have some conferences outside the ring. We're gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 60-minute match. A 60-minute Iron Man, some 20 minutes worth of Iron breaks.
Yeah,
to discuss his 1,000 holds in this book.
Yeah, I don't know how much more Cody that we're gonna have to endure while his new show is coming. I shouldn't say endure. I
just want to see it. At this
yeah.
point, I just want to see it and we can get it over with.
Yeah.
But the fans got that missed kick and whatever, and then he even didn't. And then there was something like I can't remember what happened, but I think he was supposed to take the shot in the face or whatever. And totally missed. And there's the funny little spot where Cody can't decide where he's going to sell.
Right.
He eventually decides to sell the elbow, and that's the fans are like, boo.
Yeah.
Like the Princess Bride. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. But then the Black missed for the finish. I kind of thought that was a little out there. I didn't know if I kind of thought that Black was kind of badass to be badass enough on his own. He didn't need.
He didn't need that.
He doesn't need, Green Mist or Black Mist or whatever to secure victories.
I was like,
he's
man,
he's owned this guy's ass since he walked in the building.
Yeah,
he doesn't need Green or Black Mist to prove it again.
Yeah, I thought between the Rosario Dawson thing last week and then even the Mist, I'm like, look, this guy is one of the best in the business, one of the most talented in the company. I don't think we don't need to do gimmicks. I love his intro, but we don't need to do
He's athletic. I love his athleticism, how he moves in the ring. He's one of those guys who's really sudden. I always like watching guys who move like that, who are just really, really quick and they look quicker than they are. Or they look quicker than their body should allow to be. Yeah,
they're quick and there's no wasted motion. No. I am pining for a day, and it doesn't have to be a title match, but I'm hoping at some point in the next year, 18 months, that I see Omega and Black in the ring together. I love watching these guys work.
For sure.
But I don't know who's going to be next for Black.
It's like we're, we talked about he's missing from the card is Andrade, and not on the card. And it's kind of a bummer because it's like, man, I'd love to see him in front of.
Is he battling injury or something?
I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's the whole thing with Flair. Who knows? I mean, who knows what's going on with that? but because I mean
they were
they made the appearance in AAA together.
they made that appearance
in Mexico
and they
City.
were they set it up with attacking Chavo, like, so I felt like they were setting it up for Rick
I think
to show up, and now it's just kind of like, well, shit, what do we do now?
Because I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Who knows?
No. No.
People are saying, I think that's a discussion for maybe another episode, of course, or whatever. Before we go on to the Sting and Darby with FTR, any thoughts on the lame ass Jericho promo?
Yeah, what was that about?
And how bad Jake Hager was just standing there like the world's biggest fucking idiot.
I mean, he has
just looking like a brain, like he's got no brain in his body whatsoever.
I haven't heard Jake Hager talk in, I don't know, months. And he's just out there. I respect Jericho. I love what he's done for AEW.
Yes, he gave it legitimacy.
He gave it legitimacy
at the time when it needed it the most.
Yeah. I in the same way that Vince didn't know what to do with Malachi Black. If I'm Tony, I'm like, man, I don't know what to do with you right now, Chris. I don't know. Like, as far as in ring, I don't know what to do with you.
But going out there with these Dan Lambert thing, it's just. We'll have more to discuss on that topic on Friday.
Yeah, I kind of hope they just beat the hell out of Jericho.
I kind of hope so, but at the same time, I don't want to see Lambert again or ever.
No,
possible.
No.
And the thing is, all these guys that are supposedly badass, there's only really one of them. The rest of those, top fight guys or whatever it's called, they're actually shitty. You're all on the way down.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, Ethan Page cut his own promos. And he is a great heel talker and can get a crowd hot on his ass on his own. And he doesn't need anybody like Dan Lambert.
No.
Good Lord. Aren't we all kind of done with that rhetoric?
Yeah, put him to pasture. So my hope is that after Friday, we're done with him. I'm just looking at your shirt, and I'm just realizing, Jeff, that your shirt feels like it's like an homage to MJF. Like, it looks like an MJF scarf.
Almost the Burberry. No, this is actually a fine item from our friends at Bespoke. You can check out their products and get a Bespoke box.
I like that. We're going to get a sponsorship.
And this fine shirt. I mean, man, soft for this first cool day of Kansas City. Oh man, how beautiful was it today, dude? I mean, what a beautiful day.
It was perfect. It was amazing.
Know all you people out there in the interweb world, I don't know how beautiful your day was, but we actually had a nice one
here in Kansas City. Speaking of Kansas City, before we get to the Allen FTR Sting match, AEW, man, they're coming.
Independence here in town. First AEW show. I'm stoked. We will be there for sure.
We're gonna pack the place out. It's just gonna be.
I hope so. I mean, it's it's a modest arena, so I think it'll be a packed full house for sure.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously they're in New York City, but is New York City a wrestling town?
I think so. I mean, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It's hosted. I mean, Manias. It's hosted Royal Rumbles. I mean, they used to just do regular WWF shows there, you
Yeah.
know, on the regular. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wrestling town, you know. I mean, WWE headquarters is a stone's throw away, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Kansas City is going to represent, man.
I think
I
so.
can't. I cannot wait for
I
that,
hope so.
dude. So, what did you think? I got to tell you, I love FTR as a tag team.
Oh,
I
I do,
really do.
and they're
I love this team.
they remind me of how good, you know, a great technical tag team can work. A lot like, you know, Bret and Owen Hart, or
Yeah.
you know, any of the, you know, just really great technical tag teams,
Mm-hmm.
and how they just in and out fast, work you over, separate. I mean, it just looks so good.
Yeah.
And um and Sting and Darby. I mean, Sting, like, how old is the guy?
Dude, he looked
And
amazing in there.
he looks great. And he
Yeah.
looks great.
I
Um,
mean, he's like picking guys up. There's no struggle at all. Like I mean, I'm
no,
like, Sting is just doing his thing, man. It was so fun to
endurance,
watch. Yeah.
endurance, stamina, all look fantastic.
He's got that
Um,
old man strength, man. He's just,
oh, for sure.
yeah.
And then the finish, I thought was fantastic. What a
Oh
great
my gosh,
finish! It's
man.
we're setting up for what looks like a, you know, perfect, you know, Blanchard screw job,
Yeah.
and Sting sees through it, you know.
Yep.
I mean, and then the coffin drop onto the apron.
Oh, that was, I'm like, dude, he got cash good. I'm like, dude, I hope dude is okay. Because
That looked rough. I mean, what a
yeah,
spot. What looked
yeah.
really good. I mean, and then, you know, getting pulled in for a, you know,
What's the shelf?
tapping out to Sting and Scorpion
Yeah.
Death Drop in the middle of the ring in front of a
I mean,
20,000 raging fans has to be, you know, if that's not a high up on the checklist of your wrestling career, I
right.
don't know what really else there is for you.
I mean, that is an honor to be Scorpion Deathlocked and
Yeah,
major wrestling
huge,
event, and you get to tap out. I mean it's there. It's an elite group
right? And we think,
performers.
yeah. I mean, and I feel like we got a great finish to the story. You
Mhm.
know, Sting decks Tully, and you know they get a clean win.
So
So you know,
Darby. So what's kind of the arc? Do you see Darby and Sting like just kind of hanging out in this tag team kind of circuit? Like
I mean,
what's that next for them?
it's curiosity. I mean, you try to get Darby back into the singles title mix, or just back
Hmm.
singles wrestling. Um, you know,
Yeah.
he's also one of those guys that, I mean, there you go. I mean, MJF is now free. Tully moves on. Pinnacle, that could be a natural
Hmm. Yeah.
progression, of course, is to now have MJF go after Darby.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Ooh,
kind of a
that
natural
would
thought.
pop. That would pop.
And
That would
then, you
pop for
know,
sure.
I would love to see Wardlow just power bomb the living fuck out of Sting, and then,
Yeah.
you know, Sting, no classic no sell.
Yeah.
Classic no sell, get up and just absolutely beat the living tar out of him. You know,
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I really want to see that now. That's like up
Yeah.
on my list. It's on my list. Bucket list.
MJF and Darby Allen. I could see that. I could
I
see
like it.
that.
I like the idea of that being kind of where that goes.
I mean, well, you've got, we're what, 6 weeks away from Full Gear.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, and MJF can get, I mean, just pretty insane in these big matches. So,
Yeah.
I think if you kind of, mix the guy that'll do anything type in MJF and the ultimate Daredevil and
Oh,
Darby Allin, you could
yeah.
have a pretty sick match.
Yeah.
Especially if they went for, especially if they go for stipulations or anything else like
Well,
that.
neither one of them, as far as we know, has a next thing. I mean,
Not currently.
not currently. I mean, if you wanted to put two, I mean, your big young stars over and put them in the spotlight, I mean, like, I think that match makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
time. We just said. Clearly wrestling is just on fire. AEW is on fire. That'd be hot. Make the note on that. And speaking of hot,
well, he took the words right out of my mouth.
how about the women's title match? I mean, main event.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is to say that
Yeah.
about the state of women's wrestling? Shit, I've getting
Yeah.
power.
That was
the state of women's wrestling main eventing, and gave us an incredible match.
The notes I wrote down right as the match started. The crowd is amped. I love how seriously AEW treats the women's division. Like,
yes,
that they main evented and they carried it. I mean,
absolutely.
I was, you know what? I got more out of Soho than I thought I was going to get. But Britt,
I will admit, I think I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I knew she could work. I know she can go. I mean, they had a great match, and
yeah.
but I still got to say, I think Hater kind of steals the show in the match. She shows her worth, her quality, very well, and the good timely interference.
Yeah,
and just how she just looks like an anime goddess right now.
Yeah,
she
really does.
The hair is incredible. Her look is incredible right now.
But let me, is there anybody? I've noticed her in a handful of matches now that whenever Britt has a great spot, she has the uncanny ability right almost immediately after she's landed that she's right there in the camera.
She knows where the camera is.
She knows where the camera is and works.
The greats are all like that, and she's definitely got it to at the nth degree.
Oh my gosh!
I kind of think if you watch the picture-in-picture commercial, I think she kind of had locked eyes with the camera the entire break.
Yeah,
pretty much, and she gives you that deep connection. We talk about that. The wrestler really tells so much of the story with their eyes, and she just locks eyes with you, and she's with you, throughout the whole match, and that's why her matches are so great.
Yeah, she really. I mean, when I say I got more out of Ruby, what I expected, I thought that Britt was going to have to carry Ruby more than she actually had to. I thought it would be Britt really carrying Ruby, and Ruby held her own. I was impressed. I got more out of her than anything I'd seen before.
I agree. I think so. Britt's coming off a good chain of matches, though. Clearly, the match with Statlander was fantastic, and everything else she's done, prior. But that match with Statlander was amazing. So only expecting the bar to just continue to go up with Britt. And,
so who's next for her?
All of her matches.
Yeah,
I think you've got a wealth of women who are right there that are in the picture. Your Thunder Rosas, your trying to think of who else all right there is now in the tight rankings. I mean,
Yeah.
Statlander's not far behind either.
Well, Red Velvet seemed to be kind of, but I will tell you she's too green. She's not ready yet. But Jade.
Oh, I mean Jade, yeah.
Yeah. She's got some work to put in.
But once it's there, it's going to be so good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be great. And I think that, she's going to have a great match with Britt, and put Britt through the paces and work Britt over really, really good. And, and Britt will win.
I don't think she's been wrestling. I don't think she's
But
been wrestling for more than a year. I think she was like a fitness model or something
fit,
before.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful and famous. Hello, my name is Jade. I'm beautiful and famous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think that she could be there. I mean, if she's willing, I think that it's going to be there.
Yeah.
But it'll be great to watch a match with those two.
Yeah, I think Britt's going to be holding on to the belt for a while.
I see at least another, if not, I could see another at least few months, if not
but
more.
I mean, is it time? Is it time for another belt in the women's division?
I don't think so. I mean, that is good. But what do you kind of have like a, TNT women's title?
Yeah.
Just for something second, a secondary something for people to focus on.
Yeah.
That's yeah, another time, I guess, another discussion for another day. But I just give us more matches.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to see let's see Jamie Hayter on TV. Let's in a match.
Yeah.
Let's see let's see I don't think we've actually seen Thunder Rosa on TV. I mean, she's wrestled a bunch of nobodies on Dark and Dark Elevation. Let's see Thunder Rosa on TV. Fans love her. I mean, let's get her on television.
I'm kind of hoping that maybe there's an opportunity for some Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, like Jamie feeling like underappreciated for delivering
Jamie will
a victory.
I think definitely turn on her eventually. Clearly, she already doesn't do the DMD, so
no,
she just gives you the no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I think of course I think you're gonna get there with her. It's time and place, of course. But I mean, if anything, I think that'd be ideally when Britt loses the belt, of course.
Yeah.
And have that be linchpin for a feud with the two of them.
Yeah. What are before we go, like what are your hopes, thoughts, predictions for Friday?
For Friday. Punk Hobbs, I think we're looking for we don't need a 15-minute, 20-minute barn burner. Give us. I don't think Hobbs can go that long.
No.
Clearly, Punk has shown us that yes, I can do that long of a match. It's not necessary for me to do it on TV. I can do this in one segment. I think, and get a good quick one over, and then probably just get his ass kicked by the rest of. And see. Let's watch Hook choke him out again.
Yeah.
So much. Oh, by the way, there's so much love for Hook on the internet right now. Love seeing some Reddits. Somebody was joking about Hook, being sexy, and then like the next thing you know, they're joking around a bit being a male escort. And then they're like, the fanfic for erotic Hook was pretty great.
Oh my god.
Hook and Hobbs. Pretty good stuff. But then as far as the big tag match, I think with the Lucha Bros, Santana Ortiz, I think that's going to be hopefully just off the hook. Lucha Bros, I mean, just seem to be on fire right now. The last two matches with them have given us maybe the best, maybe one of the best tag team matches of all time. And then, they gave us another, great moment.
Yep.
In that match
With
against Butcher.
Yeah.
With Penta taking
the
off the
mask.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, so I look forward to that being a great match. And then what do you think about the Super Click with the Jurassic Express?
Yeah,
my favorite man in the world.
That's gonna be it's
my
gonna
favorite.
be
Looking for the match out there.
It's gonna be a fun match. That to me is the match that I'm excited to see, and I want them, the Super Click, just to I'd love to see them just annihilate this team.
I'd love to see that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd be just very happy for Adam Cole, a little big super kick, and then it's like Christian says goodbye to the Jurassic Express, and
yeah.
let's move along, fellas.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've got Mox and Kingston.
I think expect nothing but pure violence.
Yeah.
I think there will be blood, and there's going to be some very, very, very stiff shots thrown in this match. But I think look for Mox to go over. I think Mox and Kingston to go over. But who knows? But then again, since Mox went over with them on TV in Cincinnati, who knows if New Japan will be like definitely saying, all right, when you go over for one there, for I gotta go one over for us too. So but I think they're gonna give us a really good one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a solid show on Friday. And I'm curious.
Pay-per-view quality for free. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing. I feel pleasured and honored to give these guys my money for pay-per-views. But don't get me wrong, free is awesome. And I will take it. And they're giving us pay-per-view quality for free.
That's exactly it, man. This was epic. I give the night a solid A. I think I would have given it an A+, were it not for some of those spots in the Rhodes Malachi Black match. But yeah, solid A for me.
The Jericho promo and the weak spots on the Cody match, and and that you're going to get a solid 90%. A solid A, edging on B+, but very, very good. And we'll see. The crowd might be so amped for Rampage. A Rampage show might be just 10 times. The crowd might be off the hook for it, which I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man. I don't know. So I'm excited. We didn't mention this is Mark for Life.
Oh yes,
I don't think
this is the Mark for Life podcast. We're your host, Jeff
and Jerry. And I'm Jerry. We probably should have done that at the beginning, but hey, if you can put Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega at the beginning of a show, why can't we do an introduction of who we are at the end of our show?
Exactly. Just a couple guys who like wrestling. So
we're just a couple guys who love wrestling. We're gonna do this probably a couple times a week, and So I guess on Friday we'll talk about talk about Rampage, and then I think we're gonna have to preview.
Gotta maybe talk about Extreme Rules. Kind of needs to be discussed as well. I think.
And hopefully by
they add any extreme stipulations.
Yeah. How about just
Are
any
you going
stipulations?
to have
How-
any
can,
stipulation?
can you just, you know, like at this point, I would settle for rules. They don't even need to be
Yes.
extreme anymore. How about just
No,
rules?
just some rules.
Some rules.
Be fantastic. Oh man. Oh Vince, you know how to keep it interesting, don't you?
Yeah. But if it's the wheel of, if it's the, you know, the, you know, the
Oh,
whole
the
WCW,
spinning. Oh,
if they can use that, then I feel like, then
the red lights are going off at Fox headquarters. Things are wrong.
but it's going to be fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. So
Oh, it's gonna be
Friday
great.
Rampage is going to be great. We'll talk Extreme Rules and, you know, March for life. We're here.
We're here, and we'll see you guys on the next time.
Deuces, y'all.